So do you have a story for us about Diddy? Everyone wants to know what's going on.
You know, I didn't want to get into this on the pod, but you know what? I think it might be a little therapeutic. This is my camera right here.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been to one of Diddy's parties.
I'll announce it now. So we got a collab with Happy Dad for QQ
Damn.
for our launch event.
Hey, good shit.
So with that being said, obviously like everything just ramped up, right? Like planning this launch event
Just got real. Shit just got real.
Shit just got real.
Like you said, and not take an opportunity that I just was scared because like I don't know if I could do it or I not, or like, oh, I might have to shoot from the hip and I don't really have preparation like I would need. But you know, you'd be surprised at how many of these, you know, Fortune 500 $1 billion companies were made just by doing that. That's how they got started, you know, out of a garage or just off one idea, and then they just kept going from there. And then eventually you look back and like, look where you're at. You almost have the whole app developed and you're pretty much getting ready to.
Can you give a bar? Spit something off at the top of your dome right now.
Hey, yo, what up? You know we ain't gonna stop it. You're here with us, Fredo, Mitch, Danny, and it's Passion to Profits.
You see that? He's fucking
There we go.
goated.
This came out the top, but yeah.
I was gonna maybe we should try it. You spit something, Mitch. You better hit a bar, and then I hit a
Dude,
bar.
I cannot do that.
Or like we say one line and then their line has to rhyme with the previous line.
Should we start it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
What's up? You already know what it is.
Me and Mitch talking biz.
I was about to say, what rhymes with bitch?
Bitch?
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
Come on,
dude, I'm not creative like that. I can't
try it.
spit.
Danny, we need another one. Mitch, you're next.
My name's DG. His name's Fredo. His name's Mitch. We came from the basement.
What rhymes with basement, bro? You say I can't do this.
Basement. It looks like a entrapment.
It's a basement. I hit home runs. You just hit base hits.
See that?
So creative.
Anyway.
man.
Yeah.
That's all
Not-
we got.
I don't know.
me.
That was like a fucked up cadence of what I first put it on.
I'm literally thinking in my head, what rhymes with basement?
Syllables were all fucked up.
Yep. That's it. All right.
but
So
who's
we're
came
back. Here's Josh.
What up, Josh?
So do you have a story for us about Diddy? Everyone wants to know what's going on.
You know, I didn't want to get into this on the pod, but you know what? I think it might be a little therapeutic. This is my camera right here.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been to one of Diddy's parties, and you know, I don't want to say everything that they're saying in the media is true, and I'm not gonna say that because psych, I haven't been to a Diddy party. I'm just kidding. None of that shit's true. But was that a good clickbait? Like,
Yeah.
think so.
Did it
Yeah.
seem like I went Dateline with it? Like I was gonna say something to the fucking to the camera?
Yeah.
No, never been to a Diddy party. Just fucking around. But what do you guys think about that whole situation? Like we could talk about it. Like, do you believe it? Not believe it? Think it's some type of like Illuminati conspiracy type shit?
I think.
What are you guys leaning towards?
Go
I
for
think he did it.
You think he did
Yeah, I
it?
think he did.
He's guilty.
Yeah.
So basically, like what they're saying is like, obviously he used to have crazy parties where like in different rooms, anything that you could desire would be in there sexually, whatever. And so they're saying that there's like a lot of prominent stars that have engaged in like, you know, gay sex acts and different shit like that, that we wouldn't deem like, you know, that we don't know or haven't come out of the closet, you know, or, you know, that's what they're just saying. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but either way, it's like, I guess like he films the shit and then he uses it as like blackmail.
No, he does. Yeah.
Or then I've heard the opposite side of that where like it's the other way around where he's like the one being blackmailed because people have like videos of him. It's like super like mixed in the media if you try to like look it up. You know what I mean?
There's three things to it. The first one, and I just want to show these off.
Put those hogs away.
No, I'm done.
These
No,
are
I'm just kidding.
sandals.
My newest Boost 500s.
He got him for Easter. He has risen.
Did you get those for Easter?
I did.
Oh shit.
Because my other ones got stolen.
Did you?
Oh,
see,
okay.
Did you see the Easter pic that he posted? Did you see the
what-
caption?
I got a lot of
crazy.
hate.
That was your line.
Bro,
huh?
that was his line.
Dang, Caesar, you just threw me under the bus to
No,
everybody.
No,
You're gonna try
Josh.
and throw me
Josh
back under the
exposed
bus.
him.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
Josh exposed him.
Well, yeah.
By the way, this is Celsius. I'm almost 3 weeks sober, but
Well,
Anyway,
any of his captions, it's either me or Sierra that write them.
It's actually either you or Pete.
Who's Pete? Pistol Pete?
no, I don't think he's met Pete.
Oh, you haven't met Pete?
No, I've never met
All right,
Pete. I've met
anyway.
Pete.
Anyways,
Let's
your
go
homie?
back.
that's Ism.
He's the homie.
Oh, so it's not your homie. So that's his homie.
It's not that he's not my friend. It's just that I don't kick it with him like that. He does.
So, all right. So there's three things. The first one
We
is
love you, Pete.
they raided his cribs.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
so you get 3-letter agencies raiding your cribs,
the Alphabet Boys.
and they don't ground his plane, and that I know of, they don't have a warrant out for his arrest.
And when they did it, when they actually went into his house and started raiding them, he was supposedly in like some other country or some shit.
No, he was still in Florida.
Okay, so
I believe so.
because I had somebody said that they like tracked his plane like somewhere in the Bahamas or
Well, that's
like,
where it took off to.
Caribbean or whatever. Oh, okay.
So
Like, but either way, he was ready to go somewhere. While
Yeah.
his places were getting ready.
my
you know what I
three
mean? Don't
things
look
is
good.
one, I don't think there's a warrant for his arrest. That's crazy when you get 3-letter agencies raiding your cribs. Like if they found him in the crib, were they just gonna be like, all right, have fun, go back to your room.
I
Like,
wonder what
are
the
you
law
gonna do?
states like when they like. Obviously, you need to have probable cause to do stuff like that. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then probable cause also to arrest him or ground his plane or not let him
something.
leave the country.
You know, it's like you would think they have those things already in order to first even like put out the manpower and like
Yeah.
all the resources to go and do that. Type of
second
stuff, you
thing
know?
is-
not to just go, hey, let's just go get all this stuff just to go see. Like there had to be some like plausible evidence against him
Yeah.
for them to even get the warrant to raid his shit. You know, at least that's how I would think. But then some of these agencies like the CIA and the whatever and the fucking FBI and
Yeah.
the what the fuck ever's like, well, I don't know. Some of them have like jurisdiction and authority to go do shit that like the Secret Service. If you talk shit about the president, they can show up at your house and start going through stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
different like laws and things that I don't know.
But
so
but the other
just
two
wondering
things
how
that
it
are going to
works.
go into like, well, not conspiracy, but like we'll just play in one. There hasn't been, I don't think, a celebrity who's like came out and stood up for him. That's the. But hold on.
That's
So
true.
that's the first thing. The second
think
thing
about
is
that.
I've seen multiple podcasts, 50 Cent, Drewski, and Cat Williams, who all have basically talked that shit. And with Wallow, Drewski was with them, and they were like, "Yo, have you been to one of those parties?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I've never been to." But like, so
Yeah.
there's like people out there who are saying like they know of, but no one has said like, "Oh, I
That
was."
move within the same
and obviously,
circles.
no one's gonna be like, "Yeah, I was there with the little boys."
or like if
Actually,
kids, like-
actually, LeBron did say, I don't know if you saw that clip of him.
No.
Where he goes, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party."
Nah.
we probably didn't say that after he got arrested.
No,
Or-
it was
like a
before.
regular-
yeah,
it
that's
was
what I'm saying.
before, yeah. But now that's
and
coming
then
out.
and then the
yeah.
last thing,
Of course, they're gonna try to tear down the Black King.
and then and then
LeBron,
the
I got
last
you.
no, I don't, well, I don't know, but the last thing is, and this is kind of crazy, is
No Diddy though.
it happened with the bridge. So the bridge goes down. Everyone talks about the bridge.
Now the bridge is supposed to be incorporated
Listen,
in Diddy
well,
party?
listen to this. Listen to
just thinking in my
this.
head.
The bridge goes down. The Diddy stuff happens the same day. And honestly, my TikTok feed hasn't been filled with either of those. Like it seems like they both went away. Like I don't see many people talking about Diddy. Like we're talking about it now, but
You said it's like getting a little quieter.
like
based
it
off-
got quieter. I don't really hear about it, and I don't see it in the news. Like,
Well, I feel like since they raided his shit and then he didn't get like arrested, people are kind of like assuming.
but that's what I'm saying.
anything.
So was
Yeah.
that just a thing to cover up a bridge just going down?
I mean,
And that could be a whole rabbit hole. But,
Exactly. No, for sure it is.
But and we don't, and I don't want to go there. But I'm just like, I was thinking about those two events happening on the same day, and then just like two kind of big things, right? This one where you have this potential predator who's a big celebrity and knows like pretty much everyone, and then
fat?
and then a
Fat
bridge,
roll or no?
bro. You're wearing a
alright?
fucking jacket.
That's why I was trying to make sure.
But
Huh? I look Jack. See, why can't you guys be like Manny? I feel better now.
well, I don't know. But so
You got to morale the talent.
Yeah.
those are big things.
But like, yeah. So obviously, Diddy with the connection with the Boston Bridge going. It was in Boston, right?
No, Baltimore.
Baltimore
Yeah.
with the bridge going down to Baltimore. I mean, could they be
But
connected?
it's just two different. It's not that they're connected. It's two different
no, that one happened
things
off
happening at the same time to scatter everyone's brain.
from something else,
And
that
then
may
all of a
really
sudden
be
it's
going
quiet,
on.
and now it's just quiet.
Well, what could it have been a cover up for?
I don't know. Well,
Yeah, so that's the next
Yeah,
thing I would think
Yeah.
about.
I don't know.
You know, what could it be a cover up for? I don't know. But
don't know.
either way, is it possible for sure? Is it likely? No. But
Yeah.
shit, I don't know. I don't really trust the government like that. That's
mean,
kinda
who
what we're
really
getting
does,
into
you know?
now.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks because like the government has it pretty shit. They can be like, they can not tell us shit and everybody's
Yeah.
gonna be like they're lying, or they could tell us shit and everybody's gonna be like, no, they're lying.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
it's like which one is it? It's like I'm at this point where yeah, the government can tell me whatever. I'm still not gonna believe it. Like you know what I mean?
Maybe we'll do conspiracies on another one.
We should. We
But
should.
let's go to now let's change this and let's go to crypto.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So
Well,
What do you
you've
guys think?
obviously been talking about ICP.
ICP, He's
Mitch
been
were
blowing
talking-
up my texts about
Me and Mitch-
ICP.
So you said there's only 15 days left
for the until
for
the
people
halving.
to get rich.
Until the halving.
Okay.
And in off historical events, when there's a halving phase, crypto has boomed.
So what is like? Do you know what a halving is? Like,
I know there's a limited supply. So basically,
because I'd like to get like.
so Bitcoin, there's
I don't really know.
21.
I'm not crypto.
There's
literate.
21 million Bitcoins, right? That's why I say it's like digital gold, because there's not, you can't make more of them.
Yeah.
And by 2140, yeah, 2140, all the Bitcoins will have to be made. They're made through mining. Have you ever heard of like, oh, I have a mining farm or whatever?
I've heard of it. I don't know what goes into it, but I've heard the term.
Yeah, so I don't fully know, but, and by the way, I hope no one thinks I know a lot about crypto, but we're just bringing it up as a topic.
Where's Miguel when you need him?
I know. So needless to say, they have until that date to mine all these things. And during the halving phases, they basically, from what I understand, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but from what I understand is during the halving phases, people that mine, they just get less. So like, let's say you're a miner, and on, when it's not in the halving phase, you can get, for the energy you spent, you could get 21 Bitcoins produced. But during the halving phase, you can only produce 3 for the same amount of energy.
So it makes them more valuable.
So it makes it more valuable, and in turn, historically, Bitcoin or crypto and Bitcoin has gone up
when they
we're
go into those phases.
when they go into those phases. So we're about to enter one on April 29th, I believe. And then historically, it goes up.
For ICP, it's going to be
Crypto or Bitcoin goes up, and most cryptocurrencies will follow. So like if Bitcoin shoots, let's just say, to 150,000, like the other cryptos should follow. And obviously, like the other guests have said, like just look at the project. Does it provide value, right? And if it does, then maybe get in. ICP, I don't fully know everything about them, but I have heard Cam said ICP, Miguel and Junior and multiple people have talked about ICP. So the way I run the numbers, and like, sadly, I wasn't part of the Doge boom. Were either of you guys?
I was.
So you were part of the Doge.
I got in right when fucking the shit was the highest it ever was, and then lost all my money.
Yeah. So I wasn't part of the Doge boom. So I'm just like, all right, we're entering a halving phase. I'm gonna put money in hopes. I mean, if I put in $1,000 in ICP for $20, and then let's just say it goes to 100, which it's peak is 700.
Yeah.
So like I can expect a little gain, and I'm no matter what up right now, because I did get in at like $10, and it's been hovering between 17 and 21 since I got in like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'm kind of just pumped for it, because if it does shoot up, then amazing. And if it doesn't, then I don't lose that much money. And it's kind of good risk for me. So if it does boom, great. And if it doesn't, at least ICP. Bitcoin and other things like Ethereum and Solana will probably follow the normal path after the halving, which is going up.
When does that end? Like the halving?
That I was looking at that today. I don't know exactly how long it lasts.
So it's not like a 3-month period, or like...
Well, I thought when like halving happens, it like that's how it stays, isn't it?
No, it's
Like I thought they like cut their inventory in half. That's why they call it a halving.
Oh really? Oh,
That's what I thought. I don't know. This is just me going off common sense.
Watch.
Because I know he keeps.
Don't listen to me.
I know he tells me, he goes, well, that starts in 15 days, but like how long does that last?
I don't know, but
or
per this chart, I don't know if I really like this one, but the very first halving happened in per this in 2013, and Bitcoin's price was at 80. No, I don't know. I don't want to sit here all day.
Well, I'm just looking it up on Google. It says Bitcoin halving is when Bitcoin's mining reward split in half. It takes the blockchain network about 4 years to open 210,000 more blocks, a standard set by blockchain's creators to continuously reduce the rate at which the cryptocurrency is introduced. The first reward was 50.
Yeah, so the first block was 50, the second was 25, the third was 12.5, the fourth was 6, and now we're going down to 3.3. I'm pretty sure per block.
And what does that mean specifically?
I don't know, but in this chart, the way it predicts on this thing here specifically, it says, which it's already wrong because Bitcoin already shot up to 71,000, but this one is saying that it would shoot up to Oh no, I think this is market cap.
So it reduces.
Well, look, if we just want to use simplicity here, it goes up.
It reduces.
Yeah, I mean,
It goes up.
It reduces the supply that enters circulation.
Yes.
Which increases the exclusivity of it, increasing scarcity by bringing fewer and fewer coins or tokens into existence. So does it stay like that, or does it go back to what it was before the halving? Is what I'm.
You see, that's what I was wondering too.
Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, it wouldn't make sense for it to have, like, if halving was just for like a month and then it's not. It's like, why did you do that? You just basically made like it harder to get Bitcoin for a month, but now people can get it freely just like they did before. I'm pretty sure when they have, it stays like that for the rest of the time, and then when they have
And
it
then it
again,
just keeps going down
it
and
keeps
down.
going down and down until like
Well,
you're
they're already
saying
at
2140.
Well, they're already at 3.3, or that's what it's going to be on
Yeah.
this halving. So I mean, I don't know where you go next. One and then
Dang, see, we're fucking we're crypto literate now on the spot.
Well,
The educational podcast.
another thing,
Learning.
does that happen for all cryptos, or is that just Bitcoin?
no, just Bitcoin.
Okay.
Because Bitcoin's the only one that's has a finite amount.
And then
big ass
and then
dick.
the other cryptos follow.
Theoretically,
Big
yeah.
nuts, big nuts, Bitcoin.
And then an argument that I had recently was if Bitcoin will be transactional. And I mean, I already believe it is.
I was about to say
but
that
it-
there's Bitcoin ATMs and
But
shit.
it's how transactional can it become? Because people are saying that Ethereum will be more transactional than Bitcoin. So basically, it's saying gold versus dollar. So it'll be Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So the dollar's transactional. Gold is more of the like. There's a limited supply. So if I hold it and Ethereum moves up in value, then then Bitcoin will move up in value and like will hold
Exactly.
higher. So they're saying that. But you obviously don't make modern transactions with gold. You make them with dollar. So you wouldn't make modern transactions with Bitcoin. You would make them with Ethereum.
And let me ask you, how probable do you think that will happen?
I mean, based off what Cam said, and I mean, you can easily Google this. I'm pretty sure banks are now
already happening.
gonna like they're approved to like hold Bitcoin or like do things with Bitcoin. So I don't know, maybe a year or two from now. And
Well, I was watching a documentary and there was this like it was a Spanish speaking country, a small one, and they literally like pay all their bills through cryptocurrency.
Ecuador.
Yeah, it's one of those. I forget what it is, but they literally they indoctrinated or they like made one of the cryptocurrencies like the currency of their nation.
I think it was Ecuador.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not sure which one it was.
But Ecuador also dropped massive amounts of money when Bitcoin was at its peak, and then they saw it all go back to 20K. So
I don't know if
hopefully
they're
they're still
still
holding.
doing
But
that.
I
But
think
it
Ecuador's
changed the way that like the people, because they're like the people of the country are super impoverished. It's like
Yeah.
the third world country, so it's like it made their like life way easier, because before they had to like basically it took them a whole day to just go to the place where they needed to pay their bills, because they had to get on like for like 3 buses and wait so how many ever hours, and now they can do it all just from their phone type shit. They like made phones specifically to be able to like pay their bills like from their house, kind of like how we do it now, but they don't have all those resources, and that's one thing that cryptocurrency did for them.
I mean, if you think about it, where we're at right now is like some people might say like, oh, wait till like more develops, but it's like also let's just say you theoretically had, like Cam said, he made what, almost 6 figures off $24. So theoretically, if you only had, or if you could, instead of going to the bar, going out to eat, just or save $100 extra and then just put it into some crypto, and in 10 years from now, when you think it's a long time, it's really not. You just might be up, and if you're not up, then hopefully it's not the end of your world.
Well, I'm going to, because like I'm a FOMO investor, so it's like it's like I get fear of missing out. Like if people are saying like there's something you could possibly make money on, and the amount of money that you have to put in is like relatively small compared to what you can gain, I'm like, fuck it, I don't have nothing to lose if I got the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I might as well put it in. Like this is money, just like you said, I would have spent going out to eat or on some drinks.
And I mean, look, 10 years ago when Bitcoin was at $100 or even less, I guarantee you no one in the world was like, that'll be $75,000 in 10 years. No one.
Yeah.
No, because that's like almost incomprehensible to think. Like, oh, I have whatever for $20 right now. Oh, we'll wait 10 years, bro, and that shit will be $100K a share.
And isn't
Like,
it?
no one would think that's possible.
And it's also like dependent on what the the foundation for the crypto is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So like
yeah.
I know that each different unique crypto has its own unique like thing that it's based off of, or what it gives value, or what gives it value, you know.
Yeah.
So what is Bitcoin's? Do you know?
What it's at right now?
Yeah, no, or like what gives it value? Like
Well, I
what
just
is,
said there's a finite amount.
there's a finite amount.
Yeah.
That's what gives it value.
Well, yeah, essentially because there's only 21 million, I believe. So that it's like that's why they compare it to gold. Like
Yeah.
you can't go and make another Bitcoin.
But I was just saying, like, what like props it up? Like, because I could like make a Danny coin and say there's only one of them. That doesn't make it like as like valuable as Bitcoin. Like, you know what I mean? So,
I
like,
mean,
what is it running off of?
like what's like why does
Yeah. So let me give an example. There was this one meme coin. It was called fuck, I'm forgetting the name. I have some of it still. I forget, but it had some weird ass name.
Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's like it was tied to the gaming, like, or the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Like it, so like the like electronic.
was there a
gaming.
finite amount of it?
I'm not sure.
So just think about this. Who's to say that? And I actually had this conversation. Why is gold? Who's to say? Why is gold matter? Like why does gold value go up?
Because collectively as a society, we've said that it's a precious metal.
Okay.
So it's like something that like I could take from like the United States to China, no matter where I'm at. Like I can barter with it or use it for some type
Same
of
with
currency.
same with Bitcoin then.
Yeah.
So I mean that's essentially what would give it its value. There's
So basically, you're trying to say like something's worth whatever people value it at.
I mean, not necessarily for this specific instance and example. There's like an actual amount of it, therefore giving it a value. If people want what they can't have, and if you can't go and make another one, or if everyone had one and you didn't have one, you might pay a little extra for one.
So it's just supply and demand then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And my argument was that in gold, like I can wear gold, and then I got clowned on because they're like, that's such a broke mentality. In a way, like, oh, I'm wearing, I could wear a gold chain, but it's
Yeah.
like, like rich people, like obviously will wear gold chains, but like they also invest in just gold, like have
Yeah.
gold bricks. And I was like, so what am I can't wear Bitcoin, but it still goes back to the principle that there's a finite amount. You can't just make more of it.
Yeah, but do you think to a certain extent it's just you being able to say I own one Bitcoin or I own?
Well, you want to say you own one Bitcoin because
Yeah.
when it goes from 20,000 to 72,000 in
That's like
5 months,
Yeah.
you might want to say you own one of
Yeah.
those things. So then therefore when you keep putting money into the market, its market cap will, I believe, keep going up.
yeah.
So therefore it's just, so there was a hype around it and it's lasted.
Okay.
That and obviously has to do with like Web 3.0 and the blockchain and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. What are you looking at over there?
I wanted to give an example of what I like actually meant, because like if you go like onto like crypto.com and you go into these coins, it'll give you like a little breakdown, like a bio of the fucking
The project?
of whatever like actually like ties to it that gives it like its value.
Well,
Like, something that like props it up. You know what I mean? That
And
it's
I-
built on, other than it being like a finite amount.
Well, I think, and I see this is where I don't want to like get in too much to it, but like there's a capability with cryptocurrency and like the blockchain and like Web 3.0. I'm pretty sure they all tie together. So I think that is also what it is, which we would just have to study Bitcoin more.
I know we're all out here trying to like
I know.
learn on the spot.
Yeah.
But let's transition before we.
Oh, it was called Hogecoin. It was called Hogecoin, and it was supposed to be like based off pretty much the gaming industry, like esports.
Okay.
Okay.
So like the more somehow it was attached to esports. So like the more esports got popular, the more like Hogecoin would be worth type shit. So that would be like the basis for Hogecoin, which was the one that I was like talking about.
Yeah.
I bought a whole bunch of but
Did it end up doing well or?
no, not really.
Oh, okay.
Everything I do fucking sucks.
All right, then stay away from ICP, please.
Well, it is what it is.
So, Danny, what do you think it takes to be successful in entrepreneurship? Or what goes on behind the scenes in your day-to-day life that you don't think much people see, or that might be oblivious in a way, a little naive to like things that have to go
Yeah.
on in order to make stuff
well,
happen?
yeah. I mean, that's gonna be like with anything. You never, like, for instance, with social media, we only show the highlights, right? We're not going to be showing like the type of like small things or maybe big things that are hard that we don't necessarily want to show. You want to have a certain image, and it's almost like kind of like that with business too. You don't really come out and talk about the hard stuff because it's hard. No one wants to sit there. You almost come off like you're complaining. But I'd say stuff that people take for granted or that you don't see connected to entrepreneurship or just being an entrepreneur in general is really like being like dealing with your emotions and stress, like, because if you don't know how to compartmentalization is like, you could say that's almost the key to everything, but it's very, very useful in business because you've heard the saying, it's not business, it's not personal, it's just business. You know what I mean? So they're saying it's just business, it's not personal, because the things and the ways that, like, decisions that you need to make based off business, you may not really be able to make if you were in an emotional state. You might not make the smartest choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and there's going to be a lot of things that happen in business that can throw you for a loop. And if I was, wearing all that stuff on my sleeve, and anything that happened in business I let really affect me on a day-to-day basis, like if something happens here with us between P2P, I can't carry that over into my relationship with my girl or my parents and let this situation fuck up that one, So if you're not good at compartmentalizing your emotions when it comes to business, you're gonna sit there and just feel like you're going for a roller coaster ride of emotions, which is normal, but at the same time it's like riding a bike, at first it's hard, you're going to fall over, you're going to scrape your knees, you're going to get hurt, but eventually, if you don't quit, you're going to figure out a rhythm where it's like, okay, you know what, until 5 p.m. I'm going to trip about and be stressed out about whatever I need to, but as soon as I walk through that threshold of my house and I'm with my family or I'm with my friends, like, I'm not going to let that bleed into that time, and so if you're good at doing that, or you can like develop that skill, because it is a skill, like you can develop it, then I really feel like you can be successful. That for me is like one of the building blocks, I think, of being successful as entrepreneurs, being able to compartmentalize your emotions and not also act too hastily on like opportunities or things that you may think like in the moment, because you're such in a heightened state of adrenaline, or you really like an idea, still it could be a good idea. It could be just as good as you feel like it is, but give yourself, 24 hours to sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel the same way in the morning, you'd be surprised what a night of sleep would do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can wake up in the morning and be like, what the hell
for everything in life.
I mean, how many times have we been out to the club and then you go home with something and you wake up in the morning and it wasn't exactly what you saw on the dance floor? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've never had that issue.
Yeah, right. But
no, I swear.
Either way, it is what it is. Well, I guess you're one of the only ones ever, right?
Mitch, you can attest. Mitch knows.
So I'm just gonna keep my comments to myself.
All right, fine.
Well, basically what he's saying is he doesn't hook up with anybody, so you could just say that.
Yeah, I'm actually celibate.
Are you?
10 years strong.
All right.
Yeah, I can see it.
Might be a virgin.
Think I'm ready to have kids now. You're gonna make sure there's guys like you out there that aren't fucking. Because I know you dirty motherfucker.
Dirty. Dirty dog. No, Mitch is. Woo-wee.
Hey, well,
but you never took some shit home that you woke up in the morning and was like, damn.
On my mama.
Never?
Nah.
I think he's capping. But
yeah,
bro,
me too.
I'll let you shoot publicly.
I thought you were.
Go for it.
What? I have nothing to say, bro. I'm not gonna air out.
Okay, how about this? Have you seen me?
I've never seen you, no, but I've also never woken up here
We hit a soft spot.
and then seen a girl walk out of your room. So
Good. Hear that?
I've slept over here like twice.
Well, either way, I digress. It doesn't even matter.
Way.
But basically,
just hold on, I want this on camera. Have you? Okay. Well, either way, you said you slept over here twice. Have you ever seen me with some?
What? You're supposed to come out and be like, yeah, that one time. Remember that ugly bitch you were with?
I was just all right.
I'm just saying, it could be whatever. Something that you've done and then you regretted about it the next day. If you would have took 24 hours to think about the decision, you might have acted differently. You might not have, but at least you give yourself that leeway. So when it comes to like making business decisions too, that's something that I really greatly believe in. And for getting pussy as well, take a second to think about it.
There we go.
Stick your dick in something for
I know
a few
Josh.
seconds.
Josh be regretting.
Stick your. That's fucked up. I know what you're talking about.
No,
stick your dick in something for a few seconds and it can stay with you for the rest of your life,
bro.
Whether it's STDs or kids or whatever. So, and I know with Fredo, it is just a few seconds. He ain't lasting that long.
I like to keep it between 15 and 30.
Hey, no, you know what you tell him? He has the best couple seconds of their life, though.
Give
him the best 30 seconds you ever had, girl.
His excuse is that he's busy. He's got things to do.
I'm just like, I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. You don't know what it's like.
It's probably as quick as I respond to text messages. That's about 30 seconds. Anyway, so everything I do is quick, bro. You got to be efficient in this life.
Exactly. I told you. I knew he would say that.
That is honestly like a cool like excuse to use. It's like, I'm a businessman. I got shit to do. Get up and leave. Make them feel bad because you wanted them to stick around. Now they're feeling bad about themselves instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
I know.
I get on my laptop. Scoot over.
But yeah, so back to the main topic. Yeah, definitely just compartmentalizing your emotions when it comes to business and not letting it bleed into other areas of your life. I think something super important because it's easy to do, especially if you're not thinking about it consciously. If you're not making a conscious effort to like make sure, like just like I said, when I get home and I'm dealing with so and so or anybody I care about, I'm not going to let the problems of the day bleed onto them. I try to do that a lot.
I think like for me, what it's taken. So like, I mean, you have experience like in business, like yours is up and running. It's been going, same like your music stuff, your studio, home inspection, all that stuff.
Real
Like
estate.
So you have your weather. Real estate. Wink. Our new shout out to Manny. We have a new videographer and editor. He just got himself a triplex. So
hey, congrats! Clap it up.
Let's go.
Manny, we need to put the little clap audio in right here. He's like, I'm gonna fucking beef up this fucking little clip of the video. You mentioned my name.
Real estate mogul behind us.
He is for real. I did the home inspection.
There we go.
Not trying to brag.
A little shout out, home inspection.
Oh, Eagle Eye Home Inspections.
There we go.
We're servicing the Tri-County, Ventura, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles County. We'll come out there. We'll fuck some shit up.
And
in a good way.
Bakersfield. Kern County, Bakersfield.
I don't like to advertise that though because I drive so far. Funny story. Funny story. The day I was going out and I met Manny. I was like, bro, we have to drive all the way out to Bakersfield. Talking to my dad about it because my dad just like old school Mexican. He don't care how far he has to go. If he's getting paid, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, bro, I'm talking to him about it. I'm giving him a little bit of shit for it. We don't necessarily get into it, but I always it's like almost an ongoing or a running joke like with me and him about like he'll take shit that's like the next fucking state over if they were gonna fucking pay him, and he felt like he could get there in the reasonable time. If somebody calls him for a home inspection, he's like, okay, do you have any time later today? I'm like, yeah, I already got we had one inspection this morning. I was planning something else with the back half of my day, but he doesn't necessarily think like that. But it's good though, he wants to make the money. So we're talking about going to Bakersfield. I'm like, I'm complaining the whole way, and then look what came out of it. I can't count how many times like stuff like that has happened, and it just reinforces the fact that like, hey, you never know like what you're turning down when you like don't go to something or decline an opportunity. I could have just been like, nah, I'm not gonna go to that shit. Maybe my dad would have went and still got me the hookup and the link, but maybe not, and then we could have been sitting here with total different circumstances. So just a little tangent off you introducing Manny, but shout out Manny.
Yes, sir. I think it takes like some locking in, and that's because I'm in the new phase or younger phase. Obviously the app or this has been going a little longer, at least publicly.
That's the hardest parts though, is the beginning.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going through the hard shit right now.
It's just like, well, I mean, I'm 24 and I do live with one of the best businessmen that like I could possibly get taught from, but his business is way different than what I'm doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, there we go. And I think, just like creating this by myself, damn near, like being able to make all the decisions myself without having to ask anyone is the crazy part. So
that's what people want. They want freedom, but then at the same time, it almost makes you feel like boxed in because you're hesitant, a little bit apprehensive. You don't want to make sure, because usually you'll have that person over you where you're like, hey, I want to do this. You think that's all good? They can like confirm it for you. Yeah. And it gives you that confidence to make the decision.
Exactly.
But now when it's just you, it's like you have to find that confidence within yourself, and that can be nerve wracking.
It can. And I say lock in because it's like, I'm going on, or my plan is 6 weeks. I'm almost 3 weeks into no drinking, just keto, right? Like just focusing on just me. And obviously the businesses, you know what I'm saying? We got to lose some weight so we can look good for this app. But, even though whatever. But,
you look good.
So
look better though.
Bro, Maybe if I make like a sick ass transition, we'll put like a before and after pic of me. But before, I'd be looking like Pillsbury Dough Man. Like I was like, God damn, Doughboy Dough Man. I was like, Jesus Christ, that boy's wearing a donut around his fucking hips. Like,
a little tired.
Yeah, and I got some motivation. I heard something down the pipeline. Someone was talking some shit.
Who?
No, I'm not saying.
Say it.
No.
Come on.
Who?
No.
Now you brought it up.
Them.
No.
Expose them.
No.
Use it as clickbait.
It was Coco.
And tag them.
It was Coco. Anyway.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we have like an actual title for Manny though, so it sounds professional.
What's the title?
What was it again? Director of production.
Director
Or production director.
Production director.
Or no, director of production. I like that. I think that has a little ring to it. That's that type of shit you tell people. You tell a bitch in the club, so they're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
Like make your shit sound way more important than it actually is. But no, I'm not trying to downplay what Manny does. We love him.
Yeah.
Please don't leave. I'm just
I know. He walks away.
But either way, go back and
Yeah, I mean, so like I just realized like also stuff picked up, and I'll announce it now. So we got a collab with Happy Dad for QQ for our launch event.
Hey, good shit.
So with that being said, obviously like everything just ramped up, right? Like planning this launch event
got real. Shit just got real.
Shit just got real. The app's about to launch in June, but there's still just like a bunch of legal stuff. And then when I go to the beginning of the app and I try and like find investors to like, like, is anyone down to invest to like get this app going? I don't fucking think about marketing at all. So I'm like, oh yeah, so if the app costs this much, let me see, I have this much, let me find some investors. And then, I totally shot myself in the foot and I thought nothing about marketing. So, but that's part, like I get, that's
just so many moving parts in
there
the
was
business,
so
though.
much, and I was just shooting from like my hip. And
better than not shooting at all.
Yeah, it's better than not shooting. And I mean, needless to say, like it's looking pretty good. The layout, investors, collaborations. So what I think it's taking right now is for me to just focus. Yeah. And I mean, Dana White has said it the best, like you said earlier. Like everyone wants to own something until they're putting in the work.
Because the buck stops with you. It's like that's what I've noticed too in business. It's like, especially taking over my dad's business, it's like I used to always have to look to him to do stuff or to get the okay to go forward with whatever it was. But now it's like it's my thing, and it can just start to feel like I start questioning myself a lot, and that's like a hard thing to like get past. But at the end of the day, you just have to know that like that you have enough confidence in what you're doing, and then not be afraid to like fall flat on your face and have to start all over again. And when you're
scary.
Exactly,
that's
it is.
scary. I'm scared of that bad right now, but it's part of it.
You know what at least gives me peace of mind? I know I'm not going to quit. So I really don't care if I have to start all over again, because if I wasn't starting over again, or if I was taking direct steps from where I'm at now, I'm still working. I'm still going to be putting in the time. So like, I don't want to like bite my nose to spite my face. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, like you said, and not take an opportunity that I just was scared because like I don't know if I could do it or not, or like, I might have to shoot from the hip and I don't really have preparation like I would need. But you'd be surprised at how many of these Fortune 500 $1 billion companies were made just by doing that. That's how they got started, out of a garage or just off one idea, and then they just kept going from there. And then eventually you look back and like, look where you're at. You almost have the whole app developed, and you're pretty much getting ready to
and I mean
launch event with Happy Dad and all that shit. I mean, pretty much if you look back to where you started, it's like almost night and day, right?
And last week, I mean, I posted, you guys are both on my close friends, like last week on Monday, like I was down bad. Like I was texting you guys and
what's up with that though?
Dude, I was down.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was down bad.
I was what exactly?
Yeah,
bro, I just felt like,
if you want to share.
Yeah, no, I was just down, like just a bunch of things. I was just like questioning, like just things, a lot of things, and I was just like, why is this happening?
Well, you didn't have a noose around your neck, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Was it that bad?
We may have seemed like that, but nah. But I was just like, damn, like, like, okay, there's a possibility of failing and all this stuff. And like, it's a lot because now I'm directly dealing with the lawyer, with equity, investors.
Things are becoming
setting
more
up
real.
with Happy Dad, like to get on a call with a company that did 120 million in revenue in like 2022 is crazy.
Yeah.
When I have 0.0 revenue. Setting up the event and just putting all the pieces together, it was just like and all this transpired this week pretty much. So last week I was like, what the fuck? And I
Everything
pray.
more was up in the
I
air.
try and pray every night, and you know, it just takes time and patience to develop, to get to the things that obviously we want. And then like behind the scenes, it's like, I mean, there's no real there's a bunch of behind the scenes, like what I do to day life to like get things going and like all the calls and whatnot. But like, yeah, I don't know, behind the scenes can at times, you know, maybe by the time everything's launched and the collaboration's there, then we could talk more like, oh, behind the scenes, like what was done. It's not that I can't even say it now, but it's just, it'll pay off then to like look back and be like, oh yeah, you know, and it's maybe no one will wonder what it took to get that going, but really it just takes a lot of self courage, I think, because it's like, obviously if it fails or doesn't do what I want it to do, then it's like, you know, being courageous enough to at least attempt it.
And it's like, don't let that keep you from trying, because
Exactly.
if you do, then you're losing already. It's like you've lost already. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna like think like that, and you're gonna lose regardless. You might as well take a shot at trying to do it. You know, so that's how I kind of think. But
And
either way,
to our quotes, which
it's hard.
we'll get to, I mean, we could stay on entrepreneurship, but one that sits with me, and I don't even know if this is a quote, but the phrase time, things I must experience. So once I heard that like 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, I was like, oh shit, like if people ever question in entrepreneurship, like why are things happening? It's just, you literally just need to experience more. So like if your business is not failing or whatever you're doing in life, you must experience it in order to get to the next phase. If the app just went seamless, if this podcast just went seamless,
You wouldn't learn
then I
anything.
wouldn't learn anything. So therefore I would never be able to provide value back. Like now I guarantee you I
Basically,
can.
you're gaining the wisdom that you fall back on later in life.
Exactly.
It'll be from these experiences.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So
that's a good way to
you
look
know,
at it.
yeah. I mean, that one just sat with me like different. It's just things I must experience. So anytime I'm going through a rough spot or I'm trying to figure out like why is this happening, it's just like I literally have to experience that in order to grow out of it. And or if it comes back later, just understand like I already went through this. Keep going.
Exactly. You've gone through similar situations, so you'll like almost have more of a roadmap to how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. It's a good way to put it. It's almost like saying, like, you know, I could buy you a fish dinner and you can eat for the night, or I can teach you how to fish and you can eat for a lifetime. That kind of falls back on the same type of values. Is like, you got to figure out how to do it yourself. It's going to be hard, but the thing is, it's going to be hard and you have to suffer now, but for like being able to prosper later, you know, because I can like have that instant gratification, the fish dinner, but then, you know, in 10 hours I'm gonna be hungry again, and what am I gonna do? Yeah, it was a little bit of a process learning how to fish, but now whenever I get hungry I'm gonna be able to eat.
Maybe our first sponsor will be the app.
You never know.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, you go on inspections too.
Or that.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just have the app pay me while I sit here and blabber on.
You pay yourself.
You know, just like, yeah, we do $5,000 sponsors. And just they look at the balance sheet, they're like, who the fuck are you paying $5,000
At
for?
the end of the day, though, there's a lot of stuff, like when it boils down to it, that business, especially these days when everything's so connected to social media, that it's about public perception. So you have to like fake it till you make it. And that was a concept with me where it didn't sit well with me, because I'm somebody that's so real and genuine. And I was looking at stuff as a novice, as an amateur. No, I'm going to be real. I'm going to let them know that. I'm going to let them know. I wasn't leveraging my situation in the right way where I could gain more based off the resources that I had, even if I'm just making it look like that, because that's what you have to do. Like we were talking about it before. I was like, you have to treat yourself like a company before you even become one, or if before anybody gives you that respect or recognition as a company, you have to treat yourself as one, because you're going to set the precedent. You know, it's almost the same thing. So it's not necessarily like fake it till you make it, even though that's an easy way people explain it as, and more is like manifesting. You want to manifest the image that you want, because basically one day you will be there. And there's been so many opportunities that I've flipped into real life situations by, you know, maybe adding a little bit of bullshit to it, but then like you said, once you get the opportunity and you're locked in, I get my foot in the door, now it's about proving my value, and I have to pretty much put up or shut up. All that shit that I was talking, now I got to put action behind it and really show them what's good. And sometimes I've been fucked off and not been able to do what I said I could do, but there's been a lot of more times where I've been able to fudge around and do stuff where it's like I knew I had the resources to get stuff done, but it's actually about, okay, like you said, if the rubber meets the road, it's time to actually do it now, and it can feel a little sticky, a little uncomfortable. But just like you said, I kind of find those moments, that's where growth happens, is when you're uncomfortable. You got to step outside your comfort zone.
Do you guys first yes or no, and then I have another little spiel. But do you guys believe in manifestation?
I do somewhat.
Yeah.
I believe that I am a fucking goated manifester.
Okay.
Like I truthfully believe it, and I've tested it, and I've seen. Damn, it's not really a PG story. It doesn't have to do anything with me. I just don't know. Let's just. Well, I just think I'm good, and I've seen it work. So, like, okay, I had a buddy who is a police officer, and for 4 years, I got to listen to this idiot tell us he's gonna get into a gunfight first, and we'll just use that. I'm not gonna say how the gunfight ended, but he forever was like, "Shut up! I'm gonna be the first one to get into a gunfight." For years, he was the first one out of the group to get into a gunfight, and I just thought that was crazy because he literally spoke into existence. And there's plenty of things in my life now, including the Happy Dad collab, where I didn't fully speak on it. I thought about it like a lot. I was just like, man, that'd be sick. And then just like a religious like follower and watcher of them and like their brand, and like just like subconsciously thinking like that, that. But I do believe that action has to come behind manifestation. Like, obviously I can't sit here and be like, and that was my big thing too with starting a vision board and manifesting, was like, I got to the point where I was like, I put up a fucking PJ in my room, a Rolls Royce, and fucking multi-millionaire. And I'm like, bro, how are you going to get this? And then, like, I was like, okay, podcasting, I mean, maybe, but probably the odds of that are very slim. What business am I going to start? I day trade a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I could lock in on that for sure. And
Thanks for having confidence in the pod.
Huh?
So thanks for having confidence in the pod.
Well, I can't. Yeah, I mean,
the opposite of manifestation. No,
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you.
But-
Keep going.
so finally I was just like, all right, damn, like when the idea of the app came to me, I can't tell you how fast I shot. Like, I was on the conversation.
30 seconds.
Bros, it was 30 seconds. The conversation ended. I got on the laptop and I started. And within 5 minutes, I already had the first email out to developers.
Need some water?
And no, I got some water here. I don't know what's going on.
Out of his
Getting
little
choked
his
up.
hydro flask.
He's talking about stuff that really matters in business.
And
Getting emotional.
No, not really. But I was just so when I saw my vision board, I was like, what am I gonna do for this? And so, the app thing comes to life, and now it's just crazy how alive it's coming, like we said earlier. And then things with like getting a Happy Dad collab, it's like, that adds value. Like that's gonna help in some way, shape, or form. So that was just my thing on manifesting, just because I've seen it like happen.
And also being
Crazy.
aware, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but being aware has a lot to do with that. It's like there's so much stuff happening around us. It's like, I feel like whatever we seek out, like we're gonna find, and we're gonna be able to tie something to it to justify why it's like unique to us, or why it's a synchronicity, or like the world speaking to us. And at the end of the day, I feel like it's almost something like religion in my mind, is like, if it pushes you to do better and be a better person and do good things in the world, great, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, have you ever heard of this thing called the red car theory?
Yeah. If you look at red car, or if you think about them, you'll see them more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so I listened to this motivational speaker. His name's Tony Robbins. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know who he is. So basically he has this thing, which we could do it right now. Like, he says, look around the room and like find something that's red. So like just for like, 5 seconds, look around this room right now. Find something. Let's go ahead. Let's look real quick. Let's find something that's red.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, get one in your mind. You do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's in the room right now. You got it? Something that's red? You got one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys ready? So how many things did you see that were blue? Don't look around now.
shit.
You know what I mean? None. So you're only looking for stuff that was
Now I'm
red.
looking at something. It's not your genes. I'm literally
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so that's kind of how more or less he was talking about manifestation working. The more you talk about stuff, the more aware you come of it. So now when you're walking around in your everyday life, things that you may think are like, oh my God, that's crazy, how's it happening? Which were always probably there, but it's like now you're more conscious.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that with people?
What do you mean?
I've had this, it's not a thing, but like where you meet someone, let's just say I didn't know you, or I don't know Manny, or didn't until last week, and now let's just say I saw him out, I'd be like, oh, there's Manny. Like yeah, I'll use this more. But no, I'll use this more in a going out.
Yeah, I'm gonna recognize somebody I don't know.
No, this has happened in a going out aspect.
Okay,
you go out in Santa Barbara, it's small, and you don't really recognize this, but like you don't pay any attention to that person.
Yeah.
But once you get introduced, oh, I see this motherfucker every weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that has happened to me with people.
It's the same concept. Yeah.
Exactly. It is the exact same concept. I was like, but that
happens with most people. You meet them and then you're like, hey, I met you before that last time.
I've seen you somewhere.
I'm not gonna go up to like, hey, like say I haven't met Mitch before. Hey, I've seen you. Or I might see you, but I get what you mean though.
Whatever.
It is the same concept. But that's kind of funny how you put it. That's hilarious. But I don't even know how we got.
And Santa Barbara's small,
topic.
so like,
but
we go to the same spots too. Like,
I just you know. It was my example.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, manifestation's crazy, but you have to have action.
Like I didn't think of you as Drake's twin until you said something.
Until I showed you.
Is there like a certain
through the pants?
Is there like a
let's on the app and dating thing and manifestation. Before we leave this topic, I want to share something with you guys.
Mitch was about to talk.
We'll wait. Mitch already knows.
Go for it.
Something that doesn't happen a lot.
All right, go for it, Mitch.
No, go for it. You're showing.
So I have a buddy who's using Hinge right now. I'm not gonna.
Oh, he's bringing up this. I already know what it is.
But the guy responds, "Holy fuck." This is how he opened into the conversation. "Holy fuck, you look like my ex. That's terrifying. Wait, what's your last name?" So my buddy said this to a girl. She responds, "LMAO. Well, I'm not." He says, "LOL. Well, not yet at least. You want to see a picture of your doppelganger and you can tell me if you're twins or not?" The girl says, "No, thank you."
Damn.
The buddy says, "I respect that. She's very toxic and mean to me. I'm sure you're a lot nicer and sweet. I mean, you work at a hospital, so that says something." She says, "Yeah, I'm pretty nice if you're nice to me." My boy opened up with, "You look like my fucking ex." And this girl responds. And then they exchange numbers. Sorry, buddy. They exchange numbers, and this is what she says to him. "Let's get to know each other better. Also, this girl just... Also, do you want to get to know me better? What did you do today?"
That sounds fucking scary.
That
also,
sounds fucking scary.
Me better?
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to come play?
I don't know. We're probably gonna post that on the page, but I don't know how my boy. I don't even know what went through his mind to fucking
that's like
respond with.
meme intros. That's like a thing on like TikTok.
Yeah, but he's not doing no meme shit. That was how he slid.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what like it's basically like a thing where people will say like the most outlandish shit to try to spark the conversation, especially on these dating apps, and then they'll post them. Like you know what I mean?
Well, he's definitely not posting that.
Well, I'm just saying it's like a thing.
I also know what you're saying, but
it's like a thing. Like people will like say, for instance, I've seen one where like a guy went to DM a girl and all he did was DM her like the basketball emoji, and then he put ... He was like, "Oh, my ball came into your yard. Can I get it? Hey, what's your name?" Like type shit like that. Yeah. Or like a dog emoji, like, "Oh, my dog ran into your yard, your DMs." Like, "My bad. What's up?" Like shit like that. Just being retarded.
I'm gonna have to go to him for some coaching on how to slide, because if that's working, then.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about being like refreshingly original, and then think about how many guys they probably have hitting them up just saying, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Or like, "You're beautiful, you're gorgeous." Like, how do you stand out? Like, I have a theory. Like, say I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of rich dude with fucking iced out necklaces on. Yeah. If I have a fucking iced out $20,000 necklace on, I'm not going to stand out because everybody else is wearing them, right? So how do you stand out? Oh, I'm going to dress normal. I'm gonna dress normal like a normal guy. So if somebody walked by and they see all those people interacting with you as a peer or an equal, me and Manny were talking about this, you're gonna be the one that sticks out because they're all dressed for the part, but you're not, but they're still treating you the same as they're treating each other. It's like, we call it a beautiful contradiction. It's almost something that piques interest immediately, and people start asking questions. They start asking questions. They get interested in you. That's how, you strike up a conversation or a relationship.
Since you've been in the scene, Manny, you can answer too, or hopefully. How many people do you guys think wear fake jewelry that's dripped out like that?
Never thought about that. Probably a lot. I mean, I think it's
Like, obviously, let's separate the celebrities, right? And if they want to wear fake shit, they have the money to buy the real shit. But other people who want to give off the persona,
That's what it goes back to.
So, like, how many people? If we walked into a club in LA, how many people are wearing dripped out shit? But like,
I'd say probably half of them
fake.
I'd probably say half. Yeah.
Manny, what do you think? Half?
I would say a little more.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Like, I've worn fake shit before, just try to like. Just play into the part, but
well, to me, there's a difference between wearing like a little fake, but like when you get the fucking fat Cuban, with 50,000 diamonds going around, it's like, bro, come on,
I know.
What are you doing? Like
the GLD stuff.
Yeah, the GLD shit.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
As I tuck in my chain.
And one of our boys, bro, we were in Cancun, and his neck turned fucking green.
Oh, that's funny.
On the
His
way back,
neck turned fucking green.
And at the end of the day, it's like,
And I was like,
it's a bad look.
That was
like my boy.
Who was it?
No, I don't want to throw him on the
Was it Coco? Chuche?
That's the oak
It was
tree.
Coco, huh?
It's like Chuche.
It was Coco, huh? It was Coco, huh?
I'm not saying shit.
The oak tree had some moss growing.
Coco.
Big oak. Yeah, after that we call him Oak Tree. The
But either way, it's like if you're just going for the look, like if
Yeah.
it works with your aesthetic, or maybe like, you know, you're going on a fucking Mexico trip and you want to like, you know, like I'll buy certain clothes like for like a
Yeah.
Mexico vibe on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck fashion.
does that mean it's like, oh, like is like I may get a shirt that resembles like a silk shirt, but is it real silk? Does that make it any it's like, no, it's for the aesthetic, you know what I mean? So I get that, but I guess it really depends on the motivation and the purpose.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, if you're like a rapper and you want to come off in the scene, like you want to cater to what you think your audience or fans may want to see, is different. It's a business decision, right? Than if you want to, you know, just come off and be cool. Like it really just depends.
And
At the
I'm
end of the
also-
day, it doesn't affect me, so I don't give a fuck. If it works for you, cool.
And I'm not hating. I hope it's not hate, but sometimes
No, it's just funny.
but sometimes it's like, damn, come on, like,
Yeah.
bro, tone it down, like
Like, you're not fooling
25
anybody?
notches, yeah.
Yeah, like you're not fooling
Just-
anybody for sure. Like you're having the opposite reaction to what
Exactly.
you wanted. Like, you know, it's having the like opposite effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
that
down,
sucks.
tone it
So
down.
what were you gonna say before that though? Weren't you?
Oh,
gonna
it was
say
just on manifestation. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, like,
Only gay people do it, yeah.
No. Is there like a certain way you guys do it? Because I know how I do it, but
How do you do it?
like, I just go out throughout the day and just keep
And
telling
just
myself.
thinking about it?
Just keep telling myself. Like, for example, like, I don't want to fucking run. I started running. I told you guys, you know. And throughout the day, I'm like, all right, when I get off work, I'm gonna run 3 miles. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Damn,
Yeah.
3
And then
miles.
so I just I literally put on the shoes, put on the shorts, and just go. But like, I didn't know if there was like, I know there's the people that look in the mirror, you know.
Yeah.
I think it just depends. For me, the way I've said, I mean, the way I really do it is before bed, I'll look at my stuff, meaning the walls, and then the other way is, okay, I put that stuff up there. How am I gonna measure that?
Yeah.
And that was like when I told someone about like what I was doing. I was like, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen my room or my walls. Like, did you ever like? I mean, I've never done it too, but like. If you looked at my room, you'd be like, "All right, Fredo, you got a fucking private jet up there and a Rolls Royce. So like, are you gonna shit
Well,
that out?"
I know the intentions,
Well,
yeah, but like,
oh,
are you
okay.
saying
So-
someone random looks at it or
No, well, what I'm saying is like,
Do you have
I
a
think-
ritual to your manifestation?
Well, the ritual would be to look at it and then figure out how to put action behind it.
Okay.
Because if I just put it up there and I did no action towards it,
it's just gonna be
Then
like a poster on the wall?
it's like
Yeah.
you know, it's like the red car thing. If you put it there and then you just like keep figuring out ways to try and achieve that.
Keep it in the forefront of your mind. So either way, it doesn't matter if you ever attain it. You're closer than you were before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that is something that is real. And just like you said, it depends after that on how motivated or driven the person is. If you're really driven, if you really like are somebody that are going to have a thought, an idea, and then figure out a way to apply it. Because a lot of people have ideas. A lot of people think about great shit. But then when it comes to the application part of it, they don't do anything. And that's what you're kind of saying about action.
And I think when it comes to application, I think it comes to them being just like, what
It's honestly,
they get scared of failing.
That-
Scared of. I mean, I think so. Like when it comes to application, for me, it's not easy to apply, but it's like, oh fuck, like
all success is, that's the thing too, and you're right, people are scared to fail, and that's why they're not successful. You know what I mean? As for me, the definition of success is like continuous failure. Because at the end of the day, like you saying, it was like you're going to learn what not to do next time. You're going to have another tool in your tool belt that you're going to be able to use later in life, and eventually, if you don't stop, you're going to be successful, you know? So it's really the key to it is consistency and fortitude and perseverance and not being able, like, things that would knock 99% of people off their fucking game. You have to be able to take in stride. You know, however hard that is, whatever you think about to keep you on the straight and narrow and keep putting one foot in front of the other, even if it's just like getting better 1% every day. You know, at the end of fucking, 10 years, you're going to add up all those 1% and you're going to be way farther than you were when you started. But do you have the confidence to sprint when the destination is unknown?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got another quote for that.
Because really, like, the bottom line is, like, a lot of people could sprint. If I'm telling you, just sprint to that car, to that window over there across the, that's easy. But are you willing to sprint when you don't know when you're going to stop? You know what I mean? Can you give it your all 100% every day just to get that 1% every day? I got to give it my all just so I can gain that 1%. Of DG that was better than the day before, so those are the little things that is going to separate somebody that has it for the people that have it from the people that want it, and because everybody I want $1 million. That doesn't mean it's going to be in my bank account the next time I check my app, the next time I check my banking app, but what are you going to do? Like, what are you willing to put in to get there? I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and that's why a lot of people, like, I'll butt heads with, because it's like, I don't respect their hustle. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't respect a lot of people's hustle, but at the end of the day, I know that's a me problem, not a them problem. I work at a higher clip than most people do, and I can do a lot more than most people do. Does that mean that I'm better than these other people that aren't? No, I'm just different. I could work like that, and I could come back and they could have more than me based off something else that I have no idea about because of what they are doing. They're working, but I'm just judging them off my perception of what I see visually.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I'm just, like, willing to do so much. Like, I'm hungry for it. Like, I will, like, do what most people won't. Like, in 4 days, like I was telling you guys, I traveled over 1,000 miles in 4 days based off business, based off being hungry. Like, could I turn those down? I could have turned a couple of them down. But you know what? In those 4 days, I made like 5 G's. You know what I'm saying? So once you look at it in that perspective, it's like, oh, fuck, yeah, I'm going to put the work in. But it's sometimes there's going to be things, or like during that 4-day period, I met Manny.
Yeah.
So when I went to Bakersfield, it's like those are the unforeseen things that you're gonna get and not think about. You know what I'm saying? And it's when you've gone through enough experiences like that, like I have, I never take an opportunity for granted. I'm really, if I'm not gonna take opportunity, is because I really can't. Something came up and I need to be somewhere else, and it's physically impossible for me to do it. But that's kind of something I feel like, I forgot how I got fucking off on that tangent. Yeah. But either way, that's something that I feel like is really important, and that will set, like, somebody that's being go from the failure. So, because you're going to fail over and over again, but you have to be consistent. And as long as you're consistent, all those failures are going to eventually stack up to a win. All them losses, you're going to be able to, build them into a win eventually if you're smart enough. And one thing, this goes back to being a successful entrepreneur, is you got to know how to pivot. If one opportunity so let's say you make a plan, right? How often does a plan go off without a hitch? Very rarely, right? Yeah. So as a businessman, you got to know, if this opportunity doesn't end up being what I want it to be, I have like an A, B, C, and D when I go into an opportunity. If everything goes right, it's A. If everything fucking goes wrong, I'm at least trying to get D out of it, whatever that may be. So that's how I kind of like preface it in my head. So when I go into an opportunity, it's like, if I only am thinking about the best like scenario and the best outcome, and it doesn't happen, you could be dejected. You can be discouraged. You can feel like a failure, but as long as you can go in there, be concise, and you can come out of an opportunity with another one, no matter how small it may be, you got to find that, like, the small wins, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of, I feel like, adds to, be like success. And failure is like wrapped up in that. It's all packaged together. But really, just not quitting is kind of, at the end of the day, what I'm saying, in just one
just
second.
Having resiliency, essentially.
Pretty much, and it's hard, especially when you don't feel understood. Like the people that, like, for instance, you have your own unique thing because like you're doing the reserves, right? And then Fredo, you got your app and you're working on it. Unless people are doing those with you or have done it, it's going to be hard to talk to somebody and really feel that, like, satisfaction of having a conversation with somebody who understands you.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, human beings want to be understood. We crave that type of shit, that human connection, that somebody really gets you. And you have to be comfortable with maybe never getting the credit you feel like you deserve.
Yeah.
That's the one thing with entrepreneurship that will really keep pushing you. If you are okay with working for no fucking credit, that person that's behind the scenes, putting it in, day out, and you don't need to clamor for other people's fucking approval. I didn't know that until later into this shit, because I used to try to do that. I found myself in a fucking never-ending cycle of trying to explain myself to people so they knew how hard I worked. When it was like, they don't really give a fuck anyways. I could say everything right so they can, like, a 5-year-old could explain this shit. They're gonna forget it as soon as they walk out the door. They're probably just fucking sitting there listening to me to be polite. Like, fuck, I can't wait till this motherfucker shuts up. I'm hungry. Thinking about dinner or what I'm about to go eat, or my fucking baby mama that I need to go pay child support to. Nobody's worried about your shit like you are. So stop giving them that energy. Stop giving them that time of day. And when you can put that energy back into yourself, that's when I feel like you kind of unlock that next level of like hustle, because you're not doing it for the outlook or what people think about. You're doing it for you. You're doing it because you have a higher vision of what you're doing right now. Like, Fredo has a higher level, like, you have a higher vision of what Fredo is in your head than who you are right now. You know what I mean? And that's almost like a level of manifestation. So you're going out there to get it. And that's how I kind of manifest that. I wanted to like tie it back into it, what we were talking about, is because my manifestation is different than others. I haven't cultivated it to where it's like I look in my mirror and I say a phrase 10 times to myself before I go to sleep and when I wake up. It's more of the way that I feel. I feel like I hold myself to a high standard. I feel like DG needs to do things and he needs to do it the best, you know? And sometimes that can be very detrimental to me, because if I go into a room and I'm not the best, how are you going to deal with that? But I've been doing it for so long that it's also helped me with the tools to know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? I've gone into a whole bunch of rooms where I'm not the best. In fact, those are the rooms you learn the most in. So how do I let my fucking pride and my ego take a back seat and just really learn from the people that are around me, and do it in a way with a good attitude where I'm ready to learn? You let people know, hey, there's a way to do it where it's like, because I used to think being wrong or not having everything figured out made me look weak. But that's just really a small person's mindset, you know, that's small-minded. So once I flipped that and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I was being received better. People wanted to be around me more. I didn't always have to be right. I wasn't always trying to fucking have the last word, different shit like that, you know, and basically not act like a know-it-all. Go in humble. And so I can speak to that too. But yeah, that's kind of how I manifest. It's more like a feeling for me. Like, I go in feeling like I just want to do good stuff, and I want good stuff to happen for me, but I also love doing good stuff for other people. And I feel like as long as I maneuver with that type of energy, it'll always come back.
If you take care of people, then the universe will take care of you.
It should.
I believe in that. No, I mean, it should, but it does happen. At least it's happened for me.
No, it does, for real. No.
And I mean, on that, before we wrap it up here, we're gonna give a little quote. Each of us, little quote.
Okay. Quote boys.
Mine is, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. And we don't have to dive too deep into it. But
to be everywhere is to be nowhere. That's pretty good. That's almost like if you have more than if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Yeah,
that's like
to be everywhere is to be nowhere. So if you're like, at one point in this journey of my life, I was everywhere. I was at the club. I was with the friends. I was pretending to podcast and create an app and day trade and work and go to school. And I was really nowhere. Nowhere had my actual focus that it required. So to be everywhere is to be nowhere. So you got to just lock it in, focus on what you're doing, and it'll pay off. DG, Mitch?
For me, I wake up every day, and I do say this sometimes to myself. I go, I'm tired, but I must keep going.
That's a dope one. Yeah, that's a dope one. Pretty self-explanatory. One that I like just popped into my head. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really ready for the quote, even though we talked about it. How does it go? It's like lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep.
Yeah. It's a classic.
Yeah, so that's one that I really resonate with. And I kind of think like that, even though in a way I'm like, I don't want to have to think like I'm better than anybody else, but I take it more as like, you know, nobody knows the path that I'm on and what I'm trying to do. So
exactly.
It's like, I can't really take their opinions as value like I would somebody that did, or like I would for myself. Like I have pretty much my opinion of me is the most important one.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
And I mean, for this, the way I bought these microphones was off a Snapchat from someone. Bro, just do it.
Yep. Like Nike.
And then guess what? 30 seconds later,
you busted a nut.
Busted a nut with these things. I swear to God, I'm fucking quick with this shit, bro. The nuts too, but you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So you just gotta be impulsive sometimes.
All right. The moral of this pod, bust a nut. Whether that be proverbial or literal.
Fast.
The
Yeah.
proverbial nut. He said fast.
Harder.
We got shit to do. We're busy.
Exactly.
Busy man.
Just don't take too long.
All right. Was that it? Is that the pod?
Yeah.
All right, boys. Good shit.